Hey guys, how you doing? It's Mr. Fuzzy Lego. Welcome back to my custom Lego minifigure video. And today I'm going to show you my two figures I made from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Now, Skull Kid was specifically requested by Cwatcustoms for placing 3rd place in my Super Smash Bros. Ultimate contest, and I decided to add some updates to my young Link just so that he'd be a little bit, updated. So yeah, really this video is going to focus on Skull Kid and how I made him and whatnot. So without further ado, let's go and get started. So I'm going to start off with Skull Kid first, and the big part of this figure is of course the hat and mask combo that I made. So first what I did is I took little pieces of paper and then I glued them to the top of a Lego head in this kind of fashion looking thing, and then what I did is I sculpted on top of it this little cone shape, and then I put the rest of the piece of papers on there to make it look like the little parts he has on the top of his hat, and then the mask was sculpted separately and then glued on once it was ready to be glued on. So this turned out pretty well, actually. I really like the way that this Skull Kid turned out. I've really never even made a Skull Kid before, despite Majora's Mask being one of my favorite Zelda games and just fun games to play. So I've never really tried making a Skull Kid, but this is a really nice first attempt in my opinion. But I have made the Majora's Mask a few times before, so painting it again was pretty fun. It's always fun making Majora's Masks, probably the best one I've done so far. This eye is a little bit off, like it kind of looks weird when you're looking at it straightforward, but yeah, it's just sculpted like a heart shape, and then I painted all the details on there. The spikes up here are amiibo cardboard plastic thing, that's just amiibo cardboard, and then the here are just paper because it was smaller to work with. Now this little waist thing I gave him is 3-dimensional and it comes off, and so does this waist down here, but I don't want to take the legs off because they're very fragile. They're just made out of some studs and stuff because his legs are very stubby looking. And then his arms are nice looking. I glued on these little pieces of paper to make it look like his arms. And yeah, the entire color actually is a custom color. I thought that it looked pretty nice. And then the final detail to point out is the belt. Oh, I dropped him. The belt that goes around his waist and the top of his hat. So that was definitely the most time-consuming part of painting this figure. So I mean, even then it doesn't look the best, but I think it looks pretty nice. So it goes to the back as well. And then on the top, this is the most time-consuming. It just kind of wraps around the entire top of the head. These aren't outlined or anything because I didn't think it was really necessary. But yeah, the mask is not removable and I do not want to try removing it. And that's really it for Skull Kid, and let's move on to Young Link. So next up is Young Link, and aside from the accessories themed about Majora's Mask that I gave him, he really isn't that much of an improvement from my Super Smash Bros. Ultimate version. I just made very, very small edits to it, like a few repaints. I added some darker green on some of the outlines of the tunic, and yeah, the arm is still scraping underneath there. Didn't do anything to the face. I think it turned out really nice. I added these little these brown lines to the bottoms of the boots, and those turned out really great. And I repainted the sheath on here in the back, as well as just a huge, like a repaint of the green. So that's really all I did to this figure. I didn't do much, but what I spent all the time on was, of course, his accessories. And the first one he has is his razor sword from Majora's Mask, and it looks pretty cool. So I used one of these little wheel pieces, and then I sculpted it in the middle of it so that it would be smooth, and then I glued it on top of this stick that I cut apart, and then the actual blades itself are, I think, amiibo cardboard, and then I just hot glued them onto the bottom here so that they would stand up. But there is a little bit of a glue ball there, but it's not too noticeable. Ooh, I dropped it. And I gave some different details to it, and I think it turned out really nice for the razor sword, and it comes in and off of Young Link's hand really nicely, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. So that's the razor sword. And then Young Link's shield, the hero shield, I also painted brand new. And this was just, it was pretty easy. Aside from the red, I probably could have made it look a little bit better. But yeah, it's just glued onto another bit of amiibo box cardboard. Okay, there's kids in there that are screaming booties and stuff. It's normal around here. But yeah, I just painted around the silver and then the blue and the gray and the white details and the Triforce, and that's... Oh, I dropped it. That's really it for Young Link and his accessories. I didn't make Tattle or Tail or any of the masks, like the transformation masks. I was planning to, but I didn't want to do it. I ran out of motivation, to be honest. And I just wanted to get these figures out. They're not late or anything. I didn't really want to make the fairies and the masks and stuff. So I think this is good enough. And I was really supposed to make Skull Kid and only Skull Kid, so Young Link is just an added bonus. Stop falling over! Oh, there we go. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you did, make sure you subscribe to see my piranha plant whenever I decide to get to work on it, and my other figures I'm gonna be working on. And yeah, just thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. So thanks, and bye. and stuff.